Again?
I'm Christian, and my surname is Maganda. It's a family name. Maganda.
Okay.
That's Maganda. It's a family name, my father's name.
Yeah.
So it was out of a hard situation that came into our family that I decided to begin on a business at a very low level, very young age, because my dad had got a mental disability when I was in P2. That was when I was around 8 years. So my mom was doing some bit of business. She was growing some food, yams. They locally call it waise. And she was selling each at 300 by then. I think that was in around 1992, 93. Yeah. So from there, the needs were accumulating each and every day. When I grew up, I began business when I was in P3. I began rearing some little poultry birds. I began with the two of them. They gave each 10 eggs. I gave the 10 eggs to all of them to each. So they hatched all of them. That's how I began my business. Then I continued with it for so long. We then shifted to my uncle's place because at first we were renting in town in Iganga Estates, but it was expensive. My mom couldn't afford paying school fees and she could not meet the home needs. So we shifted to my uncle's place. That's Bukai village where we are living now. And my uncle was staying in Bugende. So he decided to give us that house to use, plus the land that he was owning. From there I began piggering to 2006, and my mom was acquiring loans from Finca Uganda. That's where she was accessing finances for paying my fees when I was in secondary, S1 to S4. So after S4, in 2001, I joined the HSC, Senior 5 and 6, at Iganga Progressive Academy, just senior. I joined that school for further studies. After Senior 5 and 6, again I got stuck with tuition. I could not afford it. It was very expensive at Usoga University. So I began Pigare after having received skills from Center for Evangelism. I began Pigare. I saw as if it was the basic and cheap thing I could do. I began with the local breeds. Then again I started the horticulture. I was growing dodo, sukuma wiki. Those are local names of vegetables. Dodo, sukuma wiki, eggplants. Eggplants, I think you know them. Those are the ones that I was growing. It was a paying activity at the moment because few people were growing it. I could get customers in town here, and even around, my neighbors could come and buy. Then from Pigare, I decided to let mom withdraw from the loans because it was very expensive. The interest rate was so high. By then, Finca, the maximum they could begin with to lend out was 100,000. So my mom at the moment had withdrawn 150 from the bank. So I told her to withdraw from the bank. After I sell off my piglets, I told her you can stop getting loans because the interest rate is so high. She thought I was joking. So I went with her to the bank. We calculated out the remaining balance. I paid it. She withdrew from the bank. I was able, out of the sales I got from the piglets, to finance her. For the first time, I became a money lender to her. I gave her 200,000. That's how she was able to begin off with the GNAT selling. It was my finances. So I told her to go to, she was buying them at Palisa. The market was in Palisa. Each sack was 25,000. So she was bringing it this way. And at the moment we were selling, the measurements we were using were basins. And at the moment a basin was 7,000 each. So we began like that. Then from the Pigare project, still the poultry also working out, we exchanged some poultry for goats. We exchanged them for goats. One goat was pregnant. It was the under gestation period. At first it gave birth to 2. So we continued with the goat project. Again, we exchanged the goats for cows. We began with the mature cow, and it was under gestation period also. That's how we began on with business. So I'm keeping the poultry birds, I'm having the goats and the cows. Presently, I'm owning seven of the cows. Then the goats, because I've given out some. These children, I told you that I was educating, I'm paying for them school fees. They are the ones who help me to graze the goats when I'm away, especially during the weekend when they are not at school, even in the evening when they come back. So I decided to give them part of my share. Presently, I have seven of my goats, and one of these children has 4. Then the other has 2. She sold off one to pay her school fees this time. Recently, when the term had just begun, that's when she sold off one to pay her school fees. So from the sales of the cows, I joined university. Oh, a moment, go back. So after giving my mom, after lending her some money, I had already begun saving some money in a certain circle. It was by then being called Jaira. It was in Iganga. By then it was Jaira. And I had saved the 200,000 on my account. So I thought of going to university. When I went to university to register, I found the tuition fees were so high. So I went back and told my friend that I cannot afford for this year. She told me, you can. I will withdraw money from my account and give you. I will borrow it to you. I will lend it to you. So she withdrew 300,000, and I added it, topped it with mine. Then mom also gave me some 100. I took to the university and registered my course. That's how I began university. My second semester, I sold off one bull and added on some other money from my sales from poultry and the goat project. I paid my second semester. Coming to my second year, it was a task, my friend. There was no way I could get the finances. So I missed that semester. I had to register for the year, but still I stayed at home while praying. So second semester came. Remember, I had missed out the other first semester. So I continued with this second semester. The exams came in. The administrator of the faculty said those who missed last year's exams can now register and sit for them. But at the moment, I had no money, because for each paper we would pay 20,000. Then you pay another 20 for marking. That's 40 per paper. But I had missed out 7 of them, 7 papers, course units. So I went back again to my friend. She was working in a bank, volunteering in a bank. So for her, she had some good money. And at the same time, she was owning a tailoring shop. She knew tailoring. After bank, at night, she would sew some clothes. She again gave me some money. I went and searched for my papers. But then still, I had not paid tuition for the normal semester. I just had to get some kind of boldness. I went straight to the room to sit for my papers without registering for them. I just went in. After prayers, I would go and sit. For that semester, I was having 9 papers, 9 course units. So I sat for the other 8. Then in the evening, that's when the administrator came and called me. He said, I want to see your registration card and the examination card, but they were nowhere to be seen. I had not even one. So we went outside. I was about to complete the paper. We went outside and I tried to explain to him. He understood what I was saying. And he left me. Then later I paid in the money. After my course, I paid in. By graduation, I had paid all the tuition fees. That's how I came out.
Yeah.
Then I graduated in 2012. It was November 30th. That's when I graduated. So from there was an organization. It's called the Organization of African Instituted Churches. It is based in Kenya. The offices are in Kenya. There is a friend from there. It's called the Nikta. He came here. There was a conference. He picked on me to take me to Nairobi. Good chance when I went there. Coming back, I met another request. They were requesting me to register freely at a university in Namgongo.